Welcome, everybody. Thanks for tuning in today. I'm joined now by Peter Romness, Cybersecurity Principal for the U.S. Public Sector CTO Office for Cisco, and we're talking today about Cisco's FedFWD Summit. Peter, how are you doing?
Doing very well. Thanks, Billy.
Absolutely. I'm excited to talk about digital transformation, one of the summit's big themes this year. And, I wanted to start with the past year has been a little crazy. We've had a pandemic, there's been major cyber breaches, a lot going on. But I'd love to hear how federal agencies have moved forward in their journey to digital transformation over the past year.
Yeah, so, we had various agencies in different parts of their path towards digital transformation. What we did find is when the COVID happened and everybody had to rush home, that the ones that were farther down the path of digitization were actually ahead of the game, and they were able to make the transition much better. So that whole digitization, and part of it is what I call cloud smart, which is, there's cloud first, cloud, moving to the cloud. I like to use cloud smart because you need to make a smart decision about cloud. And so that helps with the digitization. The other thing that I'm seeing is that this whole idea in my part of the business, which is cybersecurity, I'm seeing zero trust become very important. And I'm actually seeing the realization of that in many federal agencies, where they're really starting to implement some of these zero trust ways of thinking and ways of protecting their data. And of course, all of those things facilitated the biggest thing in government for the year, which was this move to remote work, the idea that you can work from anywhere at any time on any device. And we're seeing that being realized in the federal government.
Let's talk now about emerging tech. What emerging technologies are on the horizon to make a major impact across federal operations, and why are they important?
Well, I would say the overriding goal of all this is flexibility and efficiency. And we're seeing many things happen as far as technology that are allowing that. One thing that I see is this idea of pushing to the edge. So we're moving our security from the data center out to where the work is being done, and putting our security as my data from my device leaves my organization or leaves my location. It may be a remote location. It just might be my laptop connecting to the internet. Well, we're putting the security at that edge so that it doesn't have to, go back to headquarters to have the security stack applied to it. In federal, this is being done with the TIC 3.0 effort that really allows for this type of flexibility. So if you have a user in the field that wants to get to the Office 365 cloud, you're not bringing their data back to headquarters and then back out to the cloud. You're allowing for that access. And the whole idea of allowing this flexibility to manage all of the different use cases is the technology that Cisco's bringing to this. So the whole idea of saving time, saving money, giving a better user experience is where we're headed as far as technology goes.
That's great. One of the topics we heard a lot about at the summit this year is the platform-centric view of IT. So, as agencies look to achieve mission success, how can that platform-centric view of IT empower them?
So the biggest thing about empowering them is trying to make it easier. When you look at all of the things that go into the modern environment, so and at Cisco, we talk about the network environment. I'm focused on the security environment. And in both of those areas, there's just so much going on. When you start implementing zero trust, you have to make all of these access decisions. You have to then make sure that you're managing all of the devices in your environment, all of the apps and all of the data in your environment. And it's really just too much. So this idea of a platform makes it so it's manageable. I like to say that it takes the job of being a network manager or a cybersecurity defender and it makes it a better job. It gets rid of the monotony, gets rid of the things that make you pull your hair out, and just it makes it so your job is well, just to put it plainly, it doesn't suck as much.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Peter, as we close out, you started at the top of the conversation saying one of the big things over the past year is that move to virtual remote work. So I want to close there and ask, how are federal agencies supporting their workforces to succeed in their missions from anywhere, any place, anytime amid the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic?
Yeah, so when the COVID-19 started, there was this big scurry for workers to work from home and work from anywhere, and then we started saying, okay, so we've got them home, we've got them working now. How do we keep them secure? How do we manage this? How do we make sure we can move forward in a realistic way? Now we're starting to come out of this pandemic, and the idea is I think there's going to be a lot more people that like this idea of working from anywhere. And it's not going to be everybody going back to the office. We talk about something called 30, 40, 30, where 30% of workers will work primarily away from the office, 40 will work in a mixed going to the office and not, and then the other 30 will work primarily at the office, is kind of, a good benchmark way of looking at it. So how do we make sure that it's efficient? How do we make sure they're secure? How do we make sure that they're able to do their jobs and that their managers know, can make sure that they're covering what they have to cover? And so all of these things are going to be critical to make sure they succeed. And, of course, at Cisco, we're trying to accommodate that for our customers.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of eyes on that over the next year, and I'm definitely interested to see how it happens. But Peter, that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for your time.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Billy.